guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here in one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that popular series of sedan from BMW to bring to you. This is it. This is the updated, changed up, refresh 2023 BMW M330i. But before we get into this rear-wheel drive, classic German nameplate, let's talk about what's going on here. BMW. They're really sticking to their guns, saying that internal combustion engine vehicles will be continued to be developed and built, and the new updated 3 Series is proof in that. Now, we already brought to you the iX M60, the i4 M50, those being the electrified offerings from BMW, but I know a lot of you have been asking me specifically for the updated 3 Series. They've taken some of the magic from the mighty 7 Series, technology-wise, and also kind of updated the look. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a luxury sedan, and you definitely want to go German, do you go Mercedes-Benz with the C300, or do you go with this new 330i? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out, is it the better luxury sedan to buy? Let's check it out. Right off the bat, the color. It may seem kind of bland, but I'm actually digging it. It's called Skyscraper Gray, and I feel like it fits the lines very nicely, has some nice metal flake into it, and really just overall gives it a presence. At the front, we're gonna see some of those big changes. First of all, updated headlights. So you now have, of course, the way that they do it with the halos being on the top portion rather than on the bottom. Once upon a time, the halo used to make a total circle, but you have those LED turn signals and daytime running lamps. You can see how they have the headlights positioned in there. Most of it is blacked out with just a little bit of silver trim around the actual headlights. Working your way down, we have body color with some gloss black, but functional corner vents. And I always have liked how BMW is able to take their front fascia and really give it some aggressive style to it that's also functional without sticking a bunch of things all over it. Now, as we come across the front, you're gonna notice that the 3 Series still has not gone in the direction as the M3 and the 4 Series. It's got the smaller size grille. If you're wondering, well, Joe, it looks like the grille's not functional. The reason why is there's active shutters that open and close to let that air in. There is a ginormous section of gloss black, and the big zonk is a lot of non-functionality. It would have been nice to put some LED fog lamps, make these functional, but in the center you do have functionality because lurking behind this middle section, you do have an intercooler because we have a turbocharged intercooled engine. But let me know what you think so far about the front of it. I'm actually overall pleasantly pleased with it. Even the way that they did the silver around those kidney-shaped grills look classy without being too flashy. It's a nice balance. Now, when you get up onto the hood, hood's the same. And you can see how they sculpted it very nicely to meet cleanly with that grille. Of course, the BMW badge, Bavarian Motor Works. And I love the way you have that nice V that goes right towards the A-pillars. Now, as we come around the bend, of course, we're gonna have new wheels and tires on our specific vehicle. So what you're gonna find are these split spoke and branded wheels. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? 19-inch wheel. You can see it's got the M logo on it. You do have your upgraded brake package with the M badging and that great blue on the calipers. A little bit larger rotor, and you have adaptive suspension and a quicker steering rack to help this live up to the ultimate driving machine experience. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this front tire? You're looking at 225 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And I think it looks classy enough. Compared to the C300, I'm definitely liking the BMW, I think, a little bit more at this point. Let me know down in the comment section how you're feeling so far. Now, down the rest of the vehicle, everything else is gonna remain the same. You got the same exact side mirrors, power folding with the LED turn signals, color matched on the door handles. We do have a little bit larger than a standard size sunroof. Obviously, depending on options, depending on all the trims, you could change all that up. Very, very nice, strong, bold lines, rear-wheel drive. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the rear tire? On the rear, you're looking at basically a little bit more width, 255 on the width, 35 series sidewall. So they give you a little bit more rubber to meet the road. Since this particular one is rear-wheel drive, you can get a 330i with X-Drive, which of course is all-wheel drive. Now, as we swing around the back, just like up front, we have some changes. I like the subtle, nice, clean, skyscraper gray trunklet spoiler. They did a great job on the LED lighting. Looking fantastic. Our 330i badge, and then dropping it like it's hot, like the Florida sun. You have one exhaust outlet. Both are functional, not like the Mercedes-Benz products, where a lot of them are making fake exhaust. I like the slash cut, nice clean opening, and I'm really digging this rear diffuser area. Yes, it's simulated, but it looks good. And the gloss black, not my favorite, but it does match with what is up front. But why don't we go ahead, we looked at the front, we're definitely looking at the back. Let's pop the hood and check out the engine of the 330i. Hey guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts, tasteful engine cover with that BMW badge. And what do we got going on? Of course, we have that 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine pumping out 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. Top speed is governed to 156 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 3,500 pounds, and the MPG's 25 in the city, 34 on the highway. So nice to see that you're gonna get a decent amount of power with that rear-wheel drive platform. And you know what? If you want all-wheel drive, they have that. And if you want more power, you could go M340i. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 3 Series and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this new 2023 BMW 330i. Now, the changes on the outside may not be a big deal to you, but there's some big changes on the interior. But before we get to that, I know you're saying, well, Joe, I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on a Mercedes-Benz C300. I'm this close. I want to know more about this 330i, but I'm very curious, Joe, how much is it? Very good question. The way that this one is optioned, it's got the M package, it's got the updated brake package, the wheels, the whole shabam. You're looking at MSRP of $52,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, you're gonna notice a 2-tone motif. So you have the soft black material up top, then you're gonna get that dark chocolate brown center with the stitching. Not a very soft armrest, but it is good looking. You do have some ambient lighting in that silver trim, and we have the Harman Kardon sound system. Now, door pocket is a decent size, maybe 2 Nathan's hot dogs with some relish and a bottle of IBC root beer to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same story. Soft touch material. We have the optional dark wood finish. I wish that it didn't have the veneer on it, then there wouldn't be a gloss factor to it, but it does look classy without looking fuddy-duddy. Silver trim's looking clean, and then feast your eyes on this. Taken right from the larger sibling, the 7 Series. We have that full one-piece setup in here. Over 14 inches, 14.9-inch infotainment system. Look at the way you can scroll through all these different setups, and you could add and subtract whatever you want to see. Very, very easy to do. Of course, you got your full navigation. We go back to home. It takes you right there, whatever you want. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We could go into our content, adaptive content, vehicle status, the whole shabam. Very, very easy to work through. Now I'm gonna throw it into reverse. Backup camera, we do have trajectory. You do have your sensing technology. I just wish this screen was a little bit larger. But you do have your parking sensors, which are nice to keep that shiny skyscraper gray looking good. Put it back into park, go back to home, and this is where we're at. Now to control the climate, the problem is it's all through the infotainment system. So no physical buttons or knobs for climate. We do have heated seats, no ventilated seats at $52,000. That's a zonk. but you do have your standard AC control with your dual climate for the temp on the outside, but everything is through the screen. This is kind of cool, that route preview setup for your navigation. Working your way down, you got your AC vents, a little bit of gloss black. Actual volume knob is nice. More of that wood finish, open sesame, 2 cup holders, wireless charging, and a USB-A 12 volt. Close it up. We have our upgraded BMW i8 drive controller. Look at the way the shifter is now. A little bit of ambient lighting, that's for the 8-speed. Start stop button. Got your different modes, which are nice to go through. And then, of course, you have semi-soft on the armrest. It is that chocolate brown. Open it up. Here's our key fob, BMW key fob with the M logo on the side. USB-C in there, and you have enough room in there to put $1 million. No, not $1 million in cash. I'm talking about 10 100-gram bars. Just make sure you don't leave them in the car on a hot Florida day like today, or you're gonna have $1 million of mush. That's what you're gonna have. Close it up. The seats, the chocolate brown leather, nice piping, stitching, everything. You have power assist on the side for the passenger. I have power assist for the driver. And then you have that little bit larger than standard sunroof. Not too shabby, but why don't you come over to the business end? I got more new tech I want to show you in the 3 Series. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. I do like the addition of the M badging on the aluminum sill plate. Pedal box is perfect. Nice, large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. You got your seat controls, easily convenient to reach to with a little bit of silver trim. I'm 6 feet tall and it feels great in here, at least up front. I can't tell you about the back seat yet. On the steering wheel, love the leather, love the stitching, love the flat black on the buttons. It's heated, and this is the optional M steering wheel. We do have paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down that ZF 8-speed automatic. Even the way they do the stitching on the horn button, it just looks classy. And then you got that gauge cluster, 12.3 inches, plucked right from the 7 Series. What I love is how you could adjust what's displayed in the center, all by scrolling through. So you could have a cornucopia of different information, your navigation, and a freaking G meter, which is kind of pretty killer to have that there. And then when you go through your different modes, there's comfort, and then there is eco. But you know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep it in sport. I reset the G meter, so when we go for the drive, I have a head-up display, which is great as well, and it changes with the dash when you go through the different modes. But let's get in that back seat and see how it compares to not only the C300, but another great comparison would be the Genesis G70. Let's get in the back. Guys, back seat time. And you know, it's interesting because there's not a ton of room back here, but there's definitely more room than the Genesis G70 and probably a little bit more than the C300. So definitely this 3 Series does a great job. I like the way it's just organized very nicely, especially with the way they did the leather seating, very similar to the design up front. You do have plastic on the back, not my favorite, and you do have these pesky cargo nets, which I'm going to zonk, because you put a dagger in here, a knife, a switchblade, anything like that, it's gonna rip right through. So I wish they would just put solid back pockets. You do have your rear AC vents and rear AC controls, plus 2 USB-Cs, which are great. I'm feeling pretty decent back here. Pull down the center armrest, nice and soft, 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the trunk and see how it compares to the competition. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. Hit the button right underneath the BMW badge. Soft release, you're gonna be greeted to a very surprising, almost 18 cubic feet of space. Of course, that rear seat folds down. You do have a large nook here for a box of Twinkies, and you have a nice cargo holder there where you could put your football signed by William Perry, the Fridge, from the Bears, the Chicago Bears that won the Super Bowl. Close it up. You know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and go on throttle in this new 3 Series. All right, guys, we are in this BMW 330i. I have it in sport mode, and I'm shifting manually with the paddles. On throttle, here we go. Really like the way that the instrumentation is so large. It gives you your gear indicator, and it's got a really cool Formula One style shift light pattern that forms at the top of the display. Now you are getting sound pumped in through the speakers. BMW has been doing that for years. Not my favorite, but I've heard worse. The ZF 8-speed is very responsive, not only on the upshifts, but also when you get on the brakes and you nail those downshifts. Head-up display, clear as day, nice and large. And I just like the driving dynamics of these cars. And even though this isn't an M car and doesn't have 800 horsepower, it's still a pretty quick, kind of fun car to drive. Inside, the new infotainment system and the iDrive controller really elevates the overall level of feel in here, especially from a technological standpoint. And then, of course, the driving. On those brakes. Rear wheel drive, here we go, on throttle. Very composed, very balanced. Let's see around this right-hand bend. Look at that, holds in line very nicely. And this is what BMW has been working so hard to get back to. I remember back in the 80s and 90s, they were all about being the ultimate driving machine, and then they got a little numb, they got a little mushy. But now they're back, bringing technology. Not sure how everybody is gonna feel about these screens. I mean, they're easy to get to, they're very responsive. I know everybody isn't in love with this, like, that's the screen. But the good news is it's got a nice little bend to it, so it really feels driver focused, and I like that about it. Seats, pretty much your standard BMW seat. It's comfy, it's supportive. Is it my favorite seat in the world? No. But I've definitely been in worse seats than this one. So that's the good news is that it's not 100% terrible. Visibility, just like any other 3 Series from before, is still fantastic, still feels good. And then, of course, the back seat. I think you got plenty of room back there for some actual adults, which are nice. But the steering wheel, I recommend optioning one of these M steering wheels because they just really got it right with the way that they designed the wheel. That's for sure. But let me know what you think about the sound, the pumped-in sound. I'm thinking it's okay. And I think most people won't even notice or care, probably, that purchase this vehicle. But let me know what you think. Driving through traffic with the small size is really nice, very easy, very balanced. And then with those upgraded brakes, they feel really good. Obviously not some track-focused brake system, but still gonna get the job done, which is nice. I just wish they had ventilated seats, especially at this price point. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, get out on the highway. Of course, you know, people with the loudest exhaust are sometimes the slowest, so that's just the way that happens. But getting out of the highway, I have a very good feeling that this is going to be the type of car that drives very, very well. You got all your safety features, your blind spot monitoring, everything to keep you and your family safe. But out here on the highway, it cruises nicely. But I really think the best part of this vehicle is that it has a lot of that fun to drive DNA. They really have brought it back towards that ultimate driving machine, even in non-performance spec vehicles like this BMW 330i, but very, very smooth. I think you're gonna obviously like the way the ZF 8-speed automatic is. It's been around for quite some time and does the job very, very well, and is found in so many different applications, it's not even funny. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of the 330i. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a hot day out here in super sunny Florida. Definitely gotta thank everybody at BMW USA for allowing us access to this new press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Has BMW continued on their success with the 3 Series? Is this the best new luxury sedan to buy over a Mercedes-Benz C300? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rise family. Of course, we need to give it up to Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photography, you know what? He's willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, and that's including visiting humane societies while he's on the clock. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. Show him some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.